Hey, what up? This is me building one of the most helpful Blender Octane communities on the internet and sharing everything in public. This is a new format here, so I'm basically going to be answering questions from my Discord and YouTube, and then I'm going to be sharing the struggles that I'm going through building this community. And to wrap everything up at the end, I might just talk about some of the things that I'm working on, things I'm struggling with, or just if anybody's trying to build something, um, what yeah, just kind of speaking free. So if you guys got any questions, put your questions down below and I'll answer them again tomorrow. So I'm going to be kind of doing this like a daily mind dump for me also too. So let's get first into these questions. First question here we got, where's the link? How to install Blender Octane 4.1. There's the link right there, bro. The link is right beneath it. So there it is. Right. Next one, I got much more stable results with the camera tracker add-on. Why does the cup is floating so much? What are you talking about here? Oh, yeah, this was just a quick test. Literally, I have no markers on the table. Literally, so yeah, I wasn't really worried about. I wasn't trying to make it a super tight track. It was literally a test. The first time I tested this app, I've always had problems trying to track stuff on my desk for some reason. So this was a clear test to see if it works. So it's a little bit shaky. I probably could do again like this is all black surface. There's no references to tracking markers. It's actually really hard to track. If I would have put the mug where the keyboard is, it probably would have been stuck more tighter. But where I put it, there's no markers for it there, so it's gonna be a little bit slow. So it's hard why it's like that. Yeah, but if you guys don't know, that camera tracker by CG Cube or CG Matter Default Cube is awesome. It's freaking awesome. Next question. Roughness is usually calculated as roughness 2 by Octane, but Octane calculates it as SQRT roughness equals 2 roughness. That's the only difference between GGX and Energy Conserve Octane. Cool, thanks. Another dope Octane video. These Blender materials. Thank you. So I give you some love on some of these guys. I gotta start giving people love. Thanks. And let's give you a. I'll give you. I'm not giving you love on that. The link is right below. Sorry. I watched your videos about installing Octane on Blender. I did all what you did, but when I launch Blender Octane Edition, it just crashes immediately. The server is good and nobody experienced what I saw. Please help. Typically, when it's crashing immediately like that, I would make sure your drivers are up to date. Octane is very picky about what drivers it's using. I'm using the studio drivers. And then also make sure your OS is running properly if you're using Windows. I used to have issues on my laptop, and then when I did a clean install of Windows, nice OS, I never had issues again. And even when I built this computer here, when I put a new fresh copy of Windows on and then I install it, I don't have any issues at all. So you got to really make sure that Windows and other things are working, and then also make sure those drivers are up to date. What I did, what you said for to install, but when I launched it, okay, it's pretty much the same question again, right? Yeah, you're having the same issues. I don't know. It's been 2 months. Like I haven't found anything in the same. Yeah, you might be having. I would check your GPU drivers, and then if not, I can't say you need to reinstall Windows, but it could never hurt to do a fresh copy reinstall. The lighting was kind of off, but good job. Again, that was just a practice, guys. I wasn't trying to make art. I was just practicing and sharing out the results of the add-on. Damn, dude. So concise and clear. Love learning about Octane from you. Thank you very much. Happy to hear that. So I try to keep it as simple as possible because it's actually quite complicated. More Octane tutorials on 3D type. Ooh, I can do that, definitely. I actually like that. Yeah, that was fun doing. I made that text on my Adobe Fresco pad on the iPad and then took it as a vector, brought it into Octane, and then pumped it out. It's a simple workflow that you can do in cycles too. No big deal. Hello, is it possible to remove the black viewport 3.2 from EV or cycles? in Blender Octane? If so, do you know how? I just started learning while I wanted to start learning Octane. There is time when I fail to review in Eevee mode. Eevee doesn't, in the full Blender Octane version, Eevee doesn't work. Or it's like not connected. I don't know. I don't really use it in that way. I have cycles set up and I have Octane set up. So I either use cycles or I can flip my switch inside of Blender and then I can go into cycles. But honestly, I've never tried Eevee because I'm using the full standalone. So for example, here is Octane. If I switch the switch up here to the top, now I'm in cycles. So Eevee. Uh, Eevee. Yeah, that's not working. What about Cube? Ah, there you go. Well, it's working on mine. I'm using Octane 2025 2.1 version 3.50 and Octane is working. That's cool. I've never known that. I don't really use it, so it's good to know. Couple more here, guys. I'm gotta go to bed. I'm getting tired. Uh, nice work. What kind of monitor is that on the left side, the square one? Dude, that monitor is like literally from 2012. It's like some old monitor I bought at the thrift store for like 30 bucks, and it still works and it continues to work, so I use it. Oh man, that's cool. Uh, thank you for everything. Hey, thank you. Thanks for the love. Just raw eyesight from my crappy non-calibrated monitor cycles is slightly darker and more whatever that is in every way, offering more blur on reflectiveness materials. Octane is more brighter, more sharper. That's good. I don't really care. I like Octane, and I'm not here to compare the two. If you like cycles, you like cycles. I use everything, right? Last one. Hello, I tried it, but it gives me errors. Is there any way to update? Uh, Blender Kit. Again, you guys might need to check your systems, guys. It works for me. I have no problems using Blender Kit. If I come over here, preferences, I just actually turned it off because it actually lags when Blender starts up. It's like totally lags out. I don't like it. So drag this thing in here. Boom, there it is. Little dolphin guy. Now, of course, it does not work because it's in cycles. I mean, it's made for cycles materials, right? But there it is. All I would do is, that's why I have the copy. I'll just copy this like that. Then I jump over to cycles and paste it, and there it is. And then if I really want to convert it, I'll just come over here and see how big is this. Got a color ramp. It's not too crazy, right? Not too crazy. Let's go back over to Octane. I've got a quick tab. Come over here. Actually, make sure select the dolphin itself. Are we on it? Dolphin. Convert materials. Spheres. Convert material. And there it is. Converted it to Octane. Now it's Octane. Easy as that. Boom. So, as for me today in the community, I've actually worked on making a add-on, or not an add, a Blender startup file that's like hardcore. Let me just quickly just show you what I'm talking about. It's still in beta. I just shared it with members of my community for them to test it out and find out things that we can possibly make better. But is this the right one? Yeah, this is the right one. Is this the right one? Yeah, this is the right one. It literally is just a startup file for new members who are coming into trying to use Blender Octane. And if you come in here, I've got my camera right. You got your standard camera right. First of all, let's turn on the lights. And in the world setup here, I built this special world setup where we've got the HDRI setup, a color environment setup, and then two different backgrounds. And I can use these these switch nodes to kind of set my background up. So for example, if I wanted to just go to HDR, I just go to 1, and now I'm at full HDRI. If I want to go to a color background, this is like a full color environment, right? Or maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you want to keep your regular environment, but you want to keep the HDR light, but I want to keep the full color background. I can easily do that. Then I've got, there's a lot going on in this file, but it's just like, I scroll this down, and I come in here into my assistant step. If I turn this up, I got the cyc wall, turn that off. I can turn on the shadow catcher. Now you've got kind of got like this going on here, right? Pretty cool. Turn that off. I've got a material setup. I've got some basic material setup for people who want like how to build in an emission, either with a texture emission or a black body. So here's the texture emission. You just use 1, you go to 2. There's the black body emission. And then I've also got just a simple subsurface material setup because people have struggled with that, and a basic glass material, and then a basic PBR setup for Octane with the ambient occlusion, albedo, roughness. We use opacity or alpha will go into there, bump, normals, displacement, all right there, all ready to go. Then I also built in a 3-point lighting setup. Let's set this world back. Actually, let's just go ahead and turn this off. If you go to 4, or actually you go to 3, it turns off the whole world. So now we have nothing. Then I go to this 3-point lighting setup here. I got a 3-point lighting setup. We can come back here, turn the cyc wall back on, turn that off. So there's our 3-point lighting setup. Boom. Super easy. And then I built a I need to move the where is it at? There we go. Focus node on here, so we can move the whole rig you want. See, it's nice. So very nice, very quick and easy to set up. So if you're coming in fresh to Blender and you're not sure how to set all that stuff up, then we've got Dennis in here for reference to build things to real world scale. And then on top of that, on the back end, I've got all kinds of render settings here. So if I go up to my render settings, I've got like a high-end GPU setup, higher samples, my low-end samples that I use for my old laptop. Then we've got Octane default setup, and then here's my preset that I've always used for my samples and stuff like that. Then I've got denoiser stuff set up already, ready to go. The denoiser is running. I had some issues with my post-processing, wasn't working. I have to figure that out, debug that. And then compositing. I've already set up all the compositing passes for Octane. So you got everything here, all these composite passes set up, and then here's all the outputs. So if you need any of these, you can just hook up a file output, and then boom, you got that ready to go. And then again, you can switch over to cycles. There's cycles, and here's Octane. So it took me about 4 or 5 hours to put this together, and it's still a little bit buggy, but it's just going to be for when people join the community to help them get in and get rolling. They just download this file, and then boom, you're ready to go. Everything is pretty much set up for you. Everything, denoiser, everything is all set up. So that's what I worked on today, and then I gotta figure out some more bugs and get that thing working properly. So catch you guys in tomorrow. Tomorrow I gotta sit down here and think for 20 minutes, 15 minutes about what I want to finish tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow I need to finish my 3-point lighting add-on. I need to go in and tweak some more settings so I can release that to Discord and our school group. So there's a couple of presets that I want the presets to be kind of set a little bit better with as far as exposure. The lighting of the intensity of the lights. So day in the life of building a Blender Octane school community right now. So if you guys are interested in that, links down below. Other than that, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.